Whether you like it or not, illicit drugs are and always have been part of society. And from as early as 5000 BC, it was believed that the Sumerians of the Mesopotamia used early forms of opium due to its hallucinogenic properties. This was no different in a galaxy like Star Wars, where some beings, albeit obviously not as strong-willed and defined as the Jedi, fell prey to illicit drugs. From the spice trade to the distribution of death sticks in the Coruscant underworld, it's hard to deny that the drug use in our favourite galaxy far, far away may draw some similarities to our own. Quite possibly the biggest and most influential drug trade in the Star Wars universe was, as stated before, known as the spice trade. The spice trade was operated by many crime families across the galaxy, such as the Pike Syndicate. This illicit Star Wars trade functioned much like the cocaine trade does on Earth, with the gangs and syndicates running them being similar to the drug cartels found in places such as Mexico and Colombia. Like the cartels in our world, these spice trade syndicates gained lots of influence over the underworld operations of the Star Wars galaxy, and were known to bring in hefty handfuls of credits for their pricey spice. Many of these illegal Star Wars drugs were mined on planets such as Kessel and thereafter sent to the criminal cartels for later processing and ultimately distribution. Most of you watching should know that one can't simply have a video about drugs in Star Wars without mentioning the fan favourite death sticks. Believe it or not though, it wasn't all too common for the average person in the underworld of Coruscant to turn them down as thoughtlessly as good old Obi-Wan Kenobi did. The bars scattered throughout Coruscant's lower levels were rife with death sticks, and they were sold to many desperate addicts who were in need of a cheap buzz. Death sticks were essentially a luminescent liquid which were delivered in vials and could be used by pouring them into a drink, injecting them into your body via needles, or even buying the hard version of the drug in the form of granules which could be smoked. They got their name due to the vials which they were normally distributed in, and of course because they would shorten your lifespan with every usage. They were also similar to a few drugs on Earth, such as crystal meth due to its highly addictive nature, as well as MDMA and ecstasy due to the way they were often sold in bars and shady nightclubs. Moving on, and although not an illicit drug, one could definitely define Bacta-gel as a highly effective medical substance, as it saw use all over the galaxy. Bacta was pretty much used more than any other medicinal drug, as it was thought to have some of the best healing properties on the market, and made for a comfortable healing process, whether it be serious or minor. It was also known to heal most injuries, ranging from blaster damage to minor cuts, and even to the point of helping to grow fingernails. In addition to this, it was warm to touch and was made entirely from organic materials, which further increased its popularity and is the reason why the drug was so widely used, even popping up in all three Star Wars movie eras. Although this may not be too similar to any of Earth's own medicinal drugs at the moment, I think we can all agree that something like Bacta would be cool to see in the future. So, to recap, we've gone over some of the most common and iconic drugs in the Star Wars universe, but there are still loads more that lie deep within Legends lore, such as Lunar Weed, which was very similar to the marijuana seen on Earth. There were also hallucinogens such as Dream Dust, which were sold by Slithmongerers, who were pretty much the shady drug dealers of the underworld, and this is just to name a few. Remember though guys, don't do drugs, and definitely don't do death sticks, or I'll have to make you go home and rethink your life. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Also, just quickly before you go guys, I want to give a plug to our Geetsly's gaming network, which has amassed over 800 members under a month. So if you're a fan of Clone Wars roleplay, Imperial roleplay, and an upcoming First Order roleplay, I suggest you go ahead and join. All links will be in the description below.